Way back in April 1956 at the world-famous Dorchester Hotel, a very famous lady indeed entered the foyer, head to toe in Christian Dior and looking as delightful as she had looked in the 1940s when she starred in all of those dancing movies. But really she found fame in the middle 40s, all thanks to the Columbia boss Harry Cohen and the creation of a character, a woman, apparently something that was literally out of this world, pre-Marilyn Monroe. We're talking, of course, about the gorgeous Rita Hayworth, who starred in Gilda. And it was the movie that really catapulted her to fame. It was one of those movies that really defined a moment in cinema history. Now, in April 1956, as I say, as she entered the Dorchester Hotel, things were slightly different for Rita. She'd had 4 years away from making movies and had become, for a short period, a princess. Yes, even pre-Princess Grace of Monaco. Rita had always done it before everybody else. The flame-haired star, as I say, was very shy off camera and wasn't particularly interested in being interviewed, but she realised that having something of an investment into this particular combat movie, she had to do something to help sell it. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because Fire Down Below was a good movie, and if you see it now, there are elements of it on YouTube. It co-starred the brilliant Robert Mitchum, and Robert Mitchum was another one that wasn't particularly good at being interviewed. So you had two major stars that were not necessarily media friendly, something you desperately needed when you're selling a movie. But the background to this is truly this, you see, because the production company behind this particular movie, Warwick Films, in a very few short years would become quite literally a phenomena in film making. Warwick Films, you see, was the part company owned by Harry Saltzman. That's right, the man alongside Cubby Broccoli who made the international mega franchise that is still going today, 007 himself, James Bond. But way back in the middle 50s, they were still struggling to try and get some of their big epic productions going. And the reason why Rita had come to England was it was actually cheaper to make said movie over here in the United Kingdom. Now, while she sort of relaxed in the presidential suite of the Dorchester Hotel, she was absolutely thrilled to find out this, that the premiere of the movie the following spring would be in front of royalty. Alexandra of Kent was the chosen royal, and Rita said in an interview that she was incredibly nervous because although she touched upon royalty herself, this was truly real British royalty, and she looked magnificent on the night as only Rita could. But here's the story that not many people know. You see, in the very few short years, as I told you, that Harry Saltzman became literally a powerhouse in Hollywood, he would have liked Rita Hayworth to pop up in the second Bond feature, Goldfinger. Now, he didn't want her to be a glamour puss, and she certainly didn't want to do that herself. Let's not forget, she'd sort of recrystallized her own career by starring opposite the likes of Frank Sinatra in Pal Joey and doing some other, more, as she pointed out, respectable acting work. But he would have liked her to have played something of a darker Bond baddie role, and she apparently liked the idea. But then at the 11th hour, and let's not forget, this is still the Bond franchise that's still in the very early stages, and to have somebody like Rita Hayworth attached would help sell the movie very much so back into the major chains in the United States. Sean Connery, now a big star thanks to Dr. No, liked the idea of Rita Hayworth. Who wouldn't? But at the 11th hour, as I said, Rita had a change of heart and said she didn't think her fans would want to see her behaving badly or indeed as something as a deadly assassin. And sadly for Harry Saltzman, that magic moment of Rita attached to one of his newer films, successful films like Bond, slipped away. The good news is Princess Alexandra of Kent and Rita Hayworth got on incredibly well and kept in correspondence for many years to come. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.